What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about ChargePoint. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really been moving it, and if right now is a good time to buy or not. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. Starting off, ChargePoint is down 6.67%, 8.03 million shares have been traded, 12.6 is the average. Even though the volume does look fairly appealing, it's not coming from institutions, as you can kind of see a wall of nothing. So there hasn't been any transactions above $100,000 occurring on the secondary market over this last 90 days. And so when it comes down to ChargePoint, this is one thing that I have stated in the past that is a massive red flag for it, is just institutions do not like it. And you know what? In all honesty, I don't know why, because just looking basically at their last balance sheet or their earnings, they have 261.9 million in cash and cash equivalents. They're burning through quite a lot of cash, so around 62.5 million every quarter, but still, mind you, like they have a lot of cash on hand, and a lot of the latest news that has been coming out as of late has been very good. It kind of goes to show that the company is trying to innovate itself. But again, I think right now just the whole EV sector is very, very fickle and very heavily reliant on interest rates. So it's just a very bad cycle right now, and shorts are actually taking advantage of all this grayness and really doubling down. So this is why institutions are kind of taking a step back and have been taking a step back from ChargePoint for a while now. So it's very unfortunate, but still, regardless, moving on, going to talk on this briefly. So there was a Form 144 that did come out after hours yesterday, which did insinuate this officer right here. So 𝗪𝗓𝗧𝗛, if I'm saying that right. I completely butchered their last name, but still 43,000 shares are being sold. And it looks like it did occur on the 20th. So this is where I think a lot of companies are doing these 144s incorrectly, because this is supposed to be for the future. And so it looks like they submitted it on the exact day of the sale, after hours in fact. So kind of not really right, but I don't think it's something that the SEC is really going to pursue. But regardless, sold $65,000 worth. So in my opinion, this is kind of chump change in the grand scheme of things, but still kind of goes to show more of a sentiment rather than anything. And when it comes to today, like I said, shorts are doubling down. Right now, 32.21% of the free float's being shorted. That works out to be 126.35 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts are currently increasing 1.56 million shares right now. Utilization 90.45, and then cost to borrow average is 9.23%. And then short score on the side note, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is at 86.7. So relatively high stuff, but still nonetheless though, this is right now at all-time high short interest numbers. As you can kind of see, previously it was at like 3102. That was on April the 16th, and as of right now it is doubling the hell down. So a lot of the data that's been coming out hasn't been the best, and it does insinuate just the purchasing power coming from consumers is diminishing, but yet the feds don't seem to be jumping over interest rates or willing to jump on interest rates being cut by, it looks like, September. So right now it's just a very interesting scenario and very difficult on a lot of growth stocks such as ChargePoint. So their last earnings, in my opinion, again, wasn't all that bad and did insinuate that at least the first half of 2025, or probably the mid part, that's where they'll be obtaining profitability. But the market so far in 2024 has been absolutely relentless and punishing any company that is going to be diluting. And lo and behold, when it comes down to ChargePoint, even though they did state that in their earnings that they're not going to be doing it in 2024, I anticipate it to be in Q4. That's just the basic math looking at their balance sheet. So I think right now ChargePoint does have a lot of good opportunity, but the technicals are starting to break down. I'll give you a quick overview of what I mean on that. So this is IBKR, so it goes over the Elliott Wave technicals. And for those of you that have been kind of tuning into my channel, they have been on point every single time. And so it does show a pivot point of $1.90, and for as long as ChargePoint is below that, then this is where it is anticipated to get to kind of between that $1.15 and $1.28 range. As of right now, There hasn't been any recent analyst ratings, so a lot of them roughly like 2 weeks ago. That's clearly associated to their earnings. And like I said, their earnings weren't all that bad, and you can kind of tell that based on a lot of the ratings. So you have $4, $4.25, 3, 3, 6. I think that one's a little bit extreme, but you guys get my point, right? Like, analysts see the potential for ChargePoint. So right now, if you do believe in ChargePoint bigger picture and EVs, then take advantage of these discounted prices. But if you're trying to catch the bottom, I do feel that there's going to be more downside rather than anything. Once again, I could be wrong. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as analyst forecasts for upcoming earnings, ratings, everything under the sun, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this to be completely free. And actually, while I'm on here, latest Morningstar report just came out at the tail end of last week. It does show the fair market value for ChargePoint being $2. So once again, something to kind of factor into everything. But moving on from here though, looking at options, you do see 45,000 in calls, 103,000 in puts. Sentiment wise, 74% of all the options being done today are bearish and are anticipating more of a continuation of a pull down. More specifically, sub looks like $1.50, so kind of where it's at right now. But looking at the open interest, you do see not much optimism, in all honesty, aside from this week, which most likely a lot of the options being purchased this week, which is a monthly option or chain, I guess, that was probably done like months and months ago. So it's just ChargePoint right now is just stuck in limbo. Institutions don't seem to care about it based on the dollar value getting into options. Just people are not really looking at ChargePoint. I think there's bigger and better plays out there that people are prioritizing, and clearly like institutions are not lining up to buy it as well. But aside from all that fun stuff, if you're looking at trading it, or again, if you are trying to catch kind of the next strong support point with it right now at $1.40, it is right below this S1. So that is and was a very strong support aside from today. So as it stands, $1.25 is going to be the next strong support, and then 97 cents will be the following support level at that stage. And then $1.42, just watch for it to kind of flirt with that for the rest of today as well. That's going to be converted to the next strong resistance / target for ChargePoint. But like I mentioned, Elliott Wave technicals are kind of projecting for it to hit between this S3 and this S2. But at that stage, if that does happen, it's a very thin line that would be holding it up from just kind of being in free fall. And a lot of companies kind of go through this, unfortunately, where they do have to do reverse stock splits and all the other fun jazz. So hopefully ChargePoint doesn't get to that stage and they're able to hold their strength. One thing I have really given them praise over is their ability to hold and kind of hover around that $2 mark. Yes, it did go down in April to, I think, $1.29 or whatever else, but like it really did a good job of holding that $2 mark until as of late. You can kind of see it just technically just broke down. And so lack of buyers will do that, and especially with a increase of manipulation, you do see just shorts starting to just increase like absolutely crazy. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts on ChargePoint. Like I said, I do feel like there is more downside coming. Do you agree with that? Do you think that I'm off my rocker and that it is going to skyrocket to $3, $4, $5? Or what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.